in Bangalore at Ultraviolette event, and Ultraviolette has shocked the market. They launched one scooter, one naked bike, Shockwave, and they actually have managed to create shockwaves across the market. I have with me Niraj to talk more about it, founder of Ultraviolette. You know, the scooter looks very exciting. The pricing is very attractive. So first of all, let's talk about scooter Tesseract. By when will we expect it in the market? You have said that it's going to cost 1.45 lakhs, but the first 10,000
vehicles at 1.2 lakhs.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll let you do the talking.
So the Tesseract actually was conceived some time back, and we've been working on this. The idea was very straightforward, that can we build advanced scooters, right? And what does it take to build an advanced scooter? What capabilities are required? And in terms of sensing technology, whether it's radars, whether it's the directional mirrors we're talking about, whether it's the cameras on the vehicle, right? And the connected technology that we already have on the F77s. So we wanted to pull all of that together, and the Tesseract is that complete form of a exciting product in this category, which for a long time has not seen too much action. And for us, if Ultraviolette is launching anything, it has to be an exciting product, and that's what the Tesseract is.
Well, it does look very attractive. It is big and it has decent amount of power as well and good range as well. So now, first of all, tell me, when do we expect it in the market? Because the pre-bookings are starting from today at 3 p.m.
Yes. So the Q1 2026, we're talking about the delivery starting in different parts of the country. And we're working towards that. The vehicles are already going to be seen on the streets because our test vehicles are always seen. And that's one of the reasons also to do this launch event today, because the cat's out of the bag once the vehicles are on the roads and being tested. So today marks the occasion for us to publicly announce it, and we're working towards the deliveries in Q1 of next year.
The pricing is very key for any product success, and you have managed to price it very well. What is your target audience with Tesseract, and what has been your pricing strategy?
So in terms of pricing, this is something that was incredibly hard to get right, and the only way we have managed to do that is because of the 7-8 years of R&D that has gone, right? The capabilities were built, and our idea of building technology is vertical integration, which means that all of this tech is built in-house, right? Which means that while we work with partners and vendors and suppliers, the only way to bring down the cost is to actually integrate all of this and bring this in-house and build it ground up, and that takes time, right? It's not something that is an easy process. It takes a lot of validation, effort, and we saw this with the F77, and that is what has enabled us. You saw all of the battery platforms that we spoke about, from the modular batteries to the F77 batteries to the 400-volt batteries on these motorcycles. We've got the entire stack now, which means that we can plug and play into different segments, into different platforms, and that is what is enabling us to price, aggressively, to price appropriately whatever product that we build.
Till now you were in the premium segment. Now Indian mass market segment, which is where the scooter is going to be positioned, is a little bit more tricky to impress.
Yes.
They want everything at a good price, which you have managed. But how are you going to convince the Indian customer that they should leave their tried and tested products and come to you?
I think from a point of view of a customer, what we have done, right, as Ultraviolette as a company, is we have showcased our abilities as a company with the F77 and with the F99 platforms. Right? If you talk to our customers, whether it is the sales experience, the customer service, the service experience, and these are reviews available everywhere, right? People have had a great experience owning these vehicles, and they trust us to deliver high quality, high performance products. It's not that we're a new kid around the block and we're doing experimental things. It's that there is a certain trust and built up over time, over the last 2 years especially, and we've gotten it right. We've done it in a very organic manner. We started in Bangalore as a pilot market, delivered hundreds of vehicles, worked with our squadron members who are out here today, and got them to a point where they are delighted, they love owning their motorcycles. And from that point of view, whatever we launch, we'll do it in a manner which is, exciting to people, which ensures that, it's not just about the sale and it's done there. The entire ownership experience that goes beyond the purchase of the product, for us, all of that matters.
And what is your production plan? Because if you are expecting 10,000 customers, you're giving extra
Yes.
benefits to 10,000. So I'm expecting that you are expecting a lot of volume.
Right.
So what is your plan? How are you planning it for
Sure.
production?
So the current production facility that we have is in Electronic City in Bangalore. This is a significantly sized facility that we can scale to about 30,000 units annually today itself. We are looking at expanding production, and that will happen. Of course, these are long-term projects, in terms of the next factory and all of that. But today, we already in our factory have the ability to produce multiple types of vehicles, right? Whether it is, the F99s, the F77s, we've announced the Shockwave, and today the Tesseract. So our ability to produce on the same line multiple types of vehicles, we have built in that capability already.
And what is your production volume right now?
Now we're scaling up with all of the Mark IIs and the Super Streets, and now the expansion. So we're going from hundreds a day to hundreds a month to now getting to about 1,000 plus vehicles a month in the next couple of months. And of course, these other products will also start to kick in. So the volumes will add up from all of these different segments.
Okay, now let's talk about Shockwave two-stroke.
Yes.
Tell us more about Shockwave, because that's something that will definitely, biking enthusiasts will definitely find very interesting.
Right. So the Shockwave was as a concept, right? As an idea for us, we wanted to bring in something that's exciting and at the same time accessible to everyone. And usually those two things are very hard to pull off, right? In a single package, in a single product. And we went back in time to see what did people love. And those two-stroke motorcycles is exactly what people love, right? And we also love them. In fact, among ourselves, we still have some of those motorcycles, right? And for us, it was about, can we bring back that same feel, that experience, that joy of riding those motorcycles, but in a futuristic manner? What would it be like to have those motorcycles in the future? And that is where the idea of, Shockwave came about. And from there, the teams get excited about these things. Then, everyone wants to work on some of these platforms. And I think it's a pure passion project that has come to life. And we're super excited. And you can see the outcome in terms of the product.
Yeah, definitely. There's lots of excitement about both the products. Now, for this Adventure Naked bike, what is the volume that you are expecting?
So again, because of the price point, right? We're talking about a price point of 175 and then 149 in terms of its availability for the first 1,000 units. We do see that, this is very accessible at a price point, even to students and people who are buying their first motorcycles by themselves. And it is going to be a significant demand generator, and we are going to see significant demand there. Now, today, I don't know between scooters and Shockwave and F77. Of course, we have our estimates and all of that. But one of the things about talking about it today and working towards the production and delivery of these vehicles is to understand and cater to the demand that is coming in, not just from India again.
Yeah.
We have our international partners here, and a lot of them are clamoring for attention of those vehicles as well. Right? So it's going to take a little bit of figuring out in terms of production planning and volumes. But yes, there is going to be significant demand because of the price point as well.
Definitely. These bikes have 160 kilometer range. Do you think that's sufficient, or will that be a deterrent in people's mind? What is the reason that they have slightly smaller range than say Tesseract?
Right. So this motorcycle is an out and out, fun performance motorcycle. It's also very lightweight. You have to understand that. It's 120 kilos, right? And we have motorcycles. We have the F77s that go all the way to 300 kilometers. And we have now the Shockwave, which is, a short, we're talking about in-city riding, on the streets, having fun, everyday college and back, and these kinds of scenarios, right? And 160 or 100 miles is actually still a significant number, right? Of course, when we talk about, very serious motorcycles, we have the F77, but we are talking about an entry-level product, and with that, 100-mile range, we think is pretty exciting, We've already seen that with some of the other scooters out there, and we think 100 miles is a pretty good number.
And one of the joys of the two-stroke bikes was also the sound. Have you tried to manage that bit a little bit?
Yes, we spoke about the sound also today. We have engineered the sound on all of our vehicles. So it sounds like a jet, a turbine. So the instant acceleration, the motor, the drivetrain, the entire gearing, and the chain mechanism all come together to give you that sound of a turbine engine, a high frequency. So it is fun. I've already ridden these motorcycles, so I know how much fun it is. And I think we're excited to see it in the hands of others.
You also showed a slide where you have showed your future plan, which includes 10 more new products. What is the timeline? Can you tell us more about the plans?
Yeah, so the plan which we presented as the Ultraviolet Flight Plan is our plan over the next 3 years to enter and have products across segments. Now that we have built the core technology, right, with these motorcycles, from every different possible battery architecture to the vehicle control unit to motor controllers to voltage levels to different capacities, we have the ability to, use these subsystems in different form factors. And with that as a base, right, the idea is to build every type of motorcycle and two-wheeler possible to cater to the different demands that consumers have. And with that, we announced, the entire portfolio and the stack that we're building out with the F series, with the Concept X, which we announced, with the Tesseract and the scooters, with the Shockwave, and also the B series, which is intended to come out a little later. But all of this is set to unfold over the next 3 years.
So, so this is like a big turning point in your plans. Till now, you were two product and then developing, building on those. How much investment are you putting in to expand into these multi-product portfolio, much higher volume that you have seen till now?
Right. So the good part, and I'll be very, very frank about this, is that we've been super capital efficient, right? Over the last 7 years, I think about $60 million has been invested into the company. And with that $60 million, we've used it very, very wisely to build out the fundamentals and the core pillars and the building blocks of today's vehicles, right? So the technology for us has been figured out, right? Which means across the entire spectrum, we have figured out the technology for all across the stack because we started with the hardest problems first. Now, in terms of scaling up, of course, investments are going to be going to happen in the company, and from that point of view, it's going to be more about growth. It's going to be about scaling distribution. It's going to be about scaling production, as well as now expanding the product portfolio. From that point of view, it is a capital-intensive industry, but I think among all of the companies that are out there, we are the most capital efficient. If not, there's no other way to put it.
Okay, now you mentioned about distribution. What is your network strength right now, and by when do we see it expanding for you to be able to service the entire country?
Right. So today we are in about 13 cities, if I know correctly, and basically we are adding cities every week now. Okay. So all of this has happened in the last couple of months, and now we're rapidly scaling up. I think we'll end up in about 30 cities very soon in a couple of weeks. And in a couple of months, we'll end up in 50 cities in India. So this is on the domestic side. On the international front, also we're looking at Germany, Spain, the Netherlands, France and Italy. So we have several of our distributors and dealers who have joined us here today, and they're also excited about this. So we're working towards the distribution and making this available. There's always going to be a crazy amount of demand. We've seen it come in from 190 different countries.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy to scale to 190 countries, but we're working towards it.
All right, Niraj, thank you so much for taking time out, and congratulations on the launches.
Thank you so much.